Hey, it's Common 13, and it's time for another subscriber special. We have hit 500 subscribers, and I wanted to do another special like I did back at 300. But this is a big deal for me. I never in a million years thought I would even get like any subscribers when I first started doing videos for YouTube and things like that. But for those who may not know, like 500 is kind of a big. I don't want to say threshold, gateway, whatever you want to say, but that is when you can like start kind of like actually making monetization. So that was a big deal for me, was to get to 500. And hopefully it only grows from here. Really just want to thank everyone out there for subscribing, because you guys could do anything else with your time, and you're using that your free time to watch me and watch what I create, and that means a lot to me. So just want to thank all of you out there. I think as of right now there's like 504 subscribers, somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure it's 504 right now, but yeah, this is a really big deal for me. I'm super happy about it. I'm super appreciative of you guys. And what we're gonna do here, I'm just gonna have a few people I want to thank for getting here, and we'll probably maybe do like something, maybe like I'll record some video game footage, and play a game or something. But I have some people I want to thank. I posted on the channel if anyone wanted to submit like a question, to do like a Q&A just for fun, something I want to do, that I like to do. So we're gonna get into that, and that's pretty much it. So let's get on with it. We got our beautiful roaring fire here. And there's some space right here. There are gonna be some visual aids as we go along for our Q&A and everything. But anyway, let's get into it. So first thing I want to do, I want to get some thank yous out of the way. And the first person I have to thank is Ian over at 616 Entertainment. He's been a huge inspiration for me. He's been a big help to me, to be honest. I started watching his channel, oh my gosh, I don't know how many years ago, but it's been a while up to this point. But I joined his Discord server like a long time ago, and he's been a really big help to me because he has like basically like an open door policy. I can message him with a question or anything like that, and he will answer it as timely as he's able to, and I appreciate that so much. So Ian, thank you a whole lot, man. When I first like started doing this, all I was doing was gameplay videos. Like I was just like doing let's plays and stuff like that, and I've been wanting for years to try and do like real videos, like real content, writing scripts, editing video and things like that, but I've never done that before. Up until I did like my first video, which was Street Fighter, not Street Fighter Cross Capcom. It's a Street Fighter hip hop video where I was talking about how hip hop music and Street Fighter are like closely linked together. I had never edited video on a computer before I did that. And before I did that, I was talking to Ian one time. I would need to go back quite a while to find it, but we were. What's the matter? My cat's meowing at me. But I was telling him, I was like, man, like I don't think I can do this. Like, I really want to do it, but I don't know how, and all that. And basically he was like, well, have you tried? And I'm like, well, no. Of course I haven't tried. He said, well, you got to try, dude. Like you can't say you can't do it if you haven't even tried. And I was like, shit, I guess you're right. But after that, he was the first person to ever watch that video, to watch my first ever video that I did. And I remember him coming back to me. He's like, "Hey, I'll watch it in a little bit." I'm like, "Okay, take your time." And he watched it, and the first message he sent me back was, "What the fuck?" And I said, "Oh, fuck, he hates it. Like, it sucks. It's garbage." And he's like, "This is, like, way too good to be your first time doing this." And, like, from there, like, my confidence just, like, went through the roof after that. And I've learned so much just, like, from him, from watching him, and from other YouTubers that I watch. Basically, I'm just learning as I do these videos. And what? Sorry. But that's just how I've been doing it, just learning by the seat of my pants, really. And like, for my sort of like editing style, definitely inspired by Ian. I get a lot from him. I rip off of him a lot. But also, for so many people, one of the first people I saw doing videos like this was James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd. And I definitely borrowed a lot from him for like his editing style. Like, both he and Ian, that are the reasons why I put like music underneath my videos, just to kind of break up the monotony of just hearing someone talk. Excuse me. But there's like so much that I've learned from him and that he's taught me. And so again, Ian, I can't thank you enough, man. A couple of people I want to thank. Mike Masters. He is over at twitch.tv/Mike Masters. He usually does Rock Band, does a little bit of Midnight Club, a little tiny bit of Grand Theft Auto, but he's been one of my biggest supporters, as far as like someone who's like purely like viewing it from the outside. And he's always like honest with me, and Ian too, like, hey, if they say, hey, this sucks or that sucks or whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can improve that later. So big shout out to Mike. He's always helping me out. I forgot to plug Ian, of course. He's youtube.com/616entertainment. So also another big supporter of mine, No Taxes Nigel Bravo, over at Stoat Crow Comedy. He is at twitch.tv/Stoat Crow Comedy with a K. Stoat Crow, like it's Stoat, like the animal, Crow with a K, Comedy with a K. But he's also like, he's watched, I think, pretty much everything I've done, and just being a fan, just being supportive. And that's a big deal to me, is that like when people that I know more on a more personal level are able to tell me, hey, I genuinely enjoy that, I genuinely like that. And the last person I want to give a shout out to here is Gwinoki over at EXE Wrestling. They've helped me with a few visual things with my videos, because I don't know how to like really. I used to, back in the day, used to be able to like, what am I getting at here? Edit images, crop things, make transparency, stuff like that. But I have not done it in years, since I was like basically in high school. And they've helped me a lot just by making a couple things for me. Like when you see a game or something like that in my videos that is being played with the Street Fighter cabinets around it, they help me with that by like making it so what I put in the center of the screen shows up in the center of the screen. Also, what I use for my thumbnails every time, that frame, the purple frame, that's actually from Street Fighter 6. Like when you're watching a cutscene or something like in arcade mode, that frame is around the artwork. And I was using some of those like images as my I keep wanting to say screenshot, but my thumbnail for my Street Fighter 6 YouTube videos. And Gwinoki, along with some other people, commented like, that's really clean, I like it, how that looks. But I was like, I like it too, and it was a way to kind of set me apart from other people. Like, I feel like if you're scrolling through YouTube and you see a thumbnail of one of my videos versus someone else, you would know it's mine, just because of that frame. Maybe I'm thinking too highly of myself, but again, they cut that out for me so I could do that. So big shout out to Gwenoki as well. And with that, that's the 4 major people I wanted to thank. But I mean, obviously, I wish I could thank every single individual person that's helped me get here. But we're gonna move on here to a little bit of Q&A. we got a few questions here, and there's some good ones. But I want to go through them in the order that I got them. So let's see here. The first one, excuse me. First one comes from Keegan. This is like a 5-parter, I think, something like that. But we'll tackle it as we go. What character in a piece of media makes you irrationally angry or annoyed, as in far more than it realistically should? Why does this character annoy you so much? This is actually like a really easy answer for me, and I guess this is like a hot take. Let's go over the whole question, the whole thing first. So we got that. On the flip side, what character will you defend regardless of the direction they are taken in future episodes / releases? What sets this character apart from others for you and makes you like them so much? Excuse me. Is there a character you like that is often disliked by other people? I want to hear your absolute hottest takes in these regards. So we gotta come in hot for this. But the first part of the question, what character in a piece of media makes you irrationally angry or annoyed? This is the easy answer for me is I can't remember his full name. Fucking Andor from Star Wars. Like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and Andor sucks. Like, his movie, he's not even the star of the movie. Rogue One is mid. His show is even like more mid. I know that's like a blasphemous thing to say, but like my thing with him is that like he's basically the protagonist of Rogue One, and the whole crux of the story is that like he and Jyn Erso are not on the same page because her dad designed the Death Star and she's trying to save him, but Andor has orders to kill him. So it's like, oh, okay, well, they're gonna butt heads. They're gonna, not be friends. But the Empire does the dirty work for him, so there's no conflict. So his character really accomplishes nothing in the movie. And then for some reason, Disney thought he was worthy of having his own show. And watching the show, I've only watched the one time. Like, this is more the fault of the show, but like, it feels like it consumed 4 seasons of show in one 12-episode setting. Like, every 3 episodes is like a different season. But the thing with Andor is like, to me, he makes like dumb decisions in the show specifically because he's on the run. He's on the lam from the Empire. This ISB guy, I don't even remember his name. I just remember he lives at home with his mom and eats cereal for dinner. But he's on the run from this guy, and then at one point he's got him, like, dead to rights. He's got like a gun in his head. It's over. Like, if he kills this guy, his problems are over. And he accidentally killed someone earlier in the show. That's why he's like on the run, if I remember correctly. But basically, that's it. If he does this guy in, he's home free. And of course he lets him go. And what happens? It bites him in the ass. The guy comes back. He's still chasing after him. And then at the end of the show, spoilers, the guy that's been using him, I don't remember his name, doesn't matter, who's a rebel guy, he's on his ship, he's about to escape, and Andor cuts him off. He's got him, dead to rights, gun to the head. Dude has no weapons, he can't use the Force, he's just like, you got me, Andor, it's over. And then Andor just gives the fuck up. Like, it was like, do with me what you want. Like, dude, you have all the power, you have the gun. Like, what are you doing? What? You're a fucking idiot. Again, you kill this guy, all your problems are done. So, and like, some of my friends like just jerk this dude off. Like, they're like, Andor is such a good character. I'm like, show me where. For fucking real. Like, I never seen him do one smart thing ever. So, yeah, fuck Andor. Cassian Andor. Also, like, I play the Star Wars Unlimited card game because I'm a fucking turbo nerd. And he's got like 4 cards in the game. He's got like a leader card and like 3 units or something like that. And I'm like, dude, Princess Leia has like 2 unit cards and 1 leader. Like, what the fuck? Fuck Andor. Well, I guess I answered both questions. Why does this character annoy you so much? So we're good there. On the flip side, what character will you defend regardless of the direction they are taken in future episodes and releases? I guess I have to say, as I knocked my trash can over, I guess I have to say Char Aznable from Mobile Suit Gundam. I mean, like, my entire like online identity is like based around this dude. But I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking to a coworker, and he's like never seen anything like Mobile Suit Gundam, and I was like, basically I was like giving him like the high level breakdown, but I was breaking down like the original like Gundam 0079, 0083, Zeta, and Char's Counterattack, like which is such a nerdy thing to do, is like explain all this crap to somebody. But like I was telling him, the thing with Char is like and this is Gundam as a whole, there's no real good guys or bad guys. Everything is like shades of gray because it's a war drama. And that's one thing I like about Gundam as a whole. Like, you know, in the first show, the story is told from the Earth Federation's point of view, where Zeon is painted as the bad guys. But then with Zeta, it gets flipped. Now the Earth Federation is the bad guys, and this new group of guys who are not Zeon, but they're like anti-Earth Federation, they're the good guys, and Char's on that team this time instead of the other team. So, but what I was explaining to him was like, because he asked me, he's like, is that guy named Char like in your picture? Which technically it's not Char, it's Quattro Bagina, his alias in Zeta, before his cover gets blown. But because that's on my Google account, whenever someone with a Google phone adds me, that's what comes up as fucking Quattro. With the sunglasses and everything. But basically I was explaining to him, I was like, basically explaining that part of it. And then I get into like Char's Counterattack, and I'm like, basically like in Char's Counterattack, Char is going to drop an asteroid on the Earth, but he has a reason. It's basically, for anyone who may not know, with Mobile Suit Gundam, there's in a certain timeline, we're not getting into all that shit, but people who migrate to space and are born in space evolve into what are called new types, who have enhanced abilities that make them very good at piloting mobile suits. But it turns out that like a lot of the people that command these people are what are called old types, people who have not evolved yet. And so with Char, he's like, old types are always using new types to fight each other and to win wars, and you know, there's this stigma between old types and new types. So what I want to do is I want everyone to evolve into a new type. I want the future generations of humanity to be new types, so everyone's on equal footing. There's no reason for any animosity between old types and new types, because there will be no old types, because everyone will become a new type. Hey, that's cool. He wants equality, right? But the way he does it is he's like, I'm going to drop an asteroid on the Earth and render it uninhabitable so that everyone will have to migrate to space. And that's it. No more Earth, only the colonies. Everyone's a new type. It's like, hey man, that's kind of fucked up because you're not destroying the Earth, but you're making it uninhabitable. No one, because like it'll cause like a nuclear winter or something like that. And Also, like, what about all the animals? Because they're not up in space. Like, we ever see like an animal other than like a dog or a cat on a Gundam colony? I don't, not that I can recall. Because there was Texas colony that was gonna be like where they put all the animals, but like that ended up like not happening. But it's like, man, that's like pretty fucked up. But here's the thing: he knows it's fucked up. He knows he's being a fucking asshole because he has an internal monologue. Amuro, I'm doing something extremely wicked. Like he knows, but he's not doing it to just be a dickhead, even though he's being a dickhead. But it's like, man, but like millions of people are gonna die because you're dropping this asteroid. But he warns everyone. He's not just doing it willy-nilly. He acquires the asteroid. He buys it, actually, from whoever owns it. This is the actual scene in the movie. He buys the asteroid. Or meteor, whatever. It's the Axis base is what it was. It used to be. But he warns everyone. He's like, I'm going to drop it at some point, you know, in a week or something like that. Whatever it was. So if you don't want to die, get off the Earth and get up into space. That's like, he gave you a warning. Like, he's not trying to, he doesn't want to kill people. But some people are going to die. But he warned them. Like, but not everyone has the means to get back to space. It's Char. Let's just leave it at that. It's Char. Let's see. What's this character from others makes you like him so much? Oh, so why I like Char? Because he's just fucking cool. His whole thing in the first series is not even that he wants to win the war. He just wants to kill the Zabi family because they killed his dad. And it's like, cool. And like, he always pilots these badass mobile suits. Man, he's fucking cool. Is there a character you like that is often disliked by other people? Not one that I can really think of. I try to like cool characters, but not. I don't. This isn't true throughout like the entire series, but one thing I remember was when Breath of the Wild came out. People like really didn't like Zelda in that game. Like they really disliked her, and I remember people being like, you know, she's a bitch. Like she's a bitch to Link. Like she's just not a very likable person. And I think if you like watch all the cutscenes, which like because of the way the game works, you are basically guaranteed to view all the memories out of order. So when you see Zelda being a bitch, it's like it's isolated, it's in a vacuum. But if you watch them all together, you can kind of see where she's coming from, because like this big bad shit is coming down and is going to destroy the kingdom. B, she's trying to help get the Guardians working. Like there's one thing I like about her is that in that game is like she's almost like a scientist. Like she's very scholarly, all obviously. But instead of just like being like, oh, you have the Triforce of Wisdom, you're smart. It's like you go to her room in the castle and she has like a library and stuff like that, and she genuinely is curious about technology, and I like that a lot. But the kingdom is under duress. She's trying to help get the Guardians to work. She's putting together the team to pilot the mechs. Like she's going out and getting excuse me, like Urbosa and crew to do their thing. But also like her innate like magic ability has not awoken yet. And it's made very obvious by her dad, the king, that hey, you should have your magic shit by now. But like she has no way to control that. Like it's just gonna come when it comes. So she's traveling around to all the shrines, praying to the goddess Hylia. You know, I need my effing power because the fucking cannon's coming. and it's like not working. And then he's like a real asshole, like to her. Like he's putting like so much pressure on her, and she's like, you know, what, 16, 17 in the game, maybe. So she's got like all this shit on her plate, and for some people, when they're stressed out, like that's just how they react, is they just lash out at people around them, which is not necessarily a healthy way of handling pressure or anything like that, but it's a legitimate thing that people do. And I'm not going to say it made her character like realistic or anything like that, but it was something like she definitely could have handled it better. But I didn't dislike her like a lot of other people did. And like, especially like, if you didn't like her in Breath of the Wild, I feel like she completely redeems herself in like Tears of the Kingdom if you played and beat that. But yeah, specifically Breath of the Wild Zelda, a lot of people don't like her, and I did. And that, I guess, that is my absolute hottest takes in these regards. Thanks, Keegan. But let's see. Up next is Mr. Wasuji. What is your favorite type/brand of jerky? This has kind of become a thing recently. I've always liked beef jerky, but for some reason I've been consuming a lot of it lately because it just kind of keeps falling into my lap for some reason. But I really like. I'm not like a ginormous like I like Jack Link's. Like Jack Link's is fine. I like their peppered beef jerky, but the reason I'm bringing it up is just because it's obtainable. Like it's just like you could go to any place that sells food, almost, has Jack Link's. But I've been trying this other one out lately. It's called Smokehouse Jerky Company, and it's not just beef jerky; it's brisket beef jerky. So like it's super tender, super juicy. The only place I know to get it is off of the fucking Matco tool truck that comes to my shop, and the shit's like almost like $20 a bag. So it's good, but it's fucking expensive. I've had like the Mango Habanero, and which is like, it's good, but like it's pretty spicy for me. But I've had that, and there's one other one I had. It was like a whiskey one or something like that. And that was really good. But if I had to pick a favorite, it would definitely have to be the lemon pepper beef jerky from Buc-ee's. Now, I've only had it twice in my life, but it's fucking good. I'm a huge fan of lemon pepper meat, basically lemon pepper chicken. I make it almost every week. Lemon pepper chicken, that is. And the thing with Buc-ee's is like, I did not buy into the hype. I didn't believe the hype when Buc-ee's like started like to kind of explode a couple years ago on the internet. That is, they've been around, but I was like, it's just a fucking gas station. Like it's fucking not. Who cares? And then it was 2 years ago, 2023. I went to the Indianapolis 500. My first, probably gonna be my only time going. But I went home. Like when I drove up there, I drove up to Cincinnati, stayed with a friend, and then we went to the race together. On my way up to Cincinnati, because I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, I drove up through North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and then through Ohio. Like that's the way I've always gone back. And I had taken the week of Memorial Day weekend off because I was like, I'm gonna drive up on Friday. I'm gonna be all around Cincinnati on Saturday. Sunday I'll be out all day at the race, and then Monday I gotta drive back. So I was like, I'm just taking the whole fucking week off. So I took that week off of work. So when I was preparing to drive back that Monday on Memorial Day, I was like, dude, I'm gonna go down the Kentucky-Tennessee side because I'm not in a fucking hurry. Fuck it, I'll go do it just to see. So partway into Kentucky, there's fucking Buc-ee's. I was like, this is an opportunity to test, like, you know, let me try these beaver nuggets. Let me get this fucking jerky. I did not get the brisket. Like there was like a huge. It was Memorial Day, so like people were off. But I bought like a Bucky plushie, a shirt for a friend, a shirt for me. I bought the beaver nuggets. They're good. They're basically just corn pops, but like they're so good. I had a chicken burrito there, and I remember I bought it, and I was like, "This is just a gas station chicken burrito. Who cares?" But then I eat it, and it's like one of the best chicken burritos I ever had in my fucking life. And then they have like the wall of jerky. Like they have all this jerky that is theirs. They do the brisket in the store, but I'm sure that gets trucked in or whatever. But I see lemon pepper. I'm like, oh shit, like lemon pepper. Like, let me get that. And it's fucking good. So yeah, Bucky's lemon pepper jerky, I would have to pick to be my favorite. Speed the Devil, Stoker Comedy coming in with one. Who is your favorite villain monster from the Godzilla franchise? Whew. The basic bitch answer is King Ghidorah, because like he's Godzilla's rival. Like they're, other than like Mecha Godzilla, like that's his biggest rival. But I want to kind of like talk about a couple other monsters that I think are cool, that maybe other people don't really talk about. But and the first one's not even really a villain because he helps him in Destroy All Monsters. Gorosaurus. Like nobody knows who the fuck Gorosaurus is, but he fucking drop kicks the shit out of King Ghidorah in Destroy All Monsters. And that's like his thing. Like he has like no power. Like he's just a big fucking dinosaur who just brawls. And I'm like, that's fucking cool. But again, he's like really not. He's not Godzilla's enemy. Like he fights alongside him, so you know you can't really say he's a villain. I think in outside of Destroy All Monsters, he's in like a couple like the Toho King Kong movies, but he appears in a couple others and like as stock footage and stuff. Was he? Yeah, he appears in Godzilla Final Wars, but like not really. I think he's just like in the background somewhere or something. But he fought King Kong. I mean, shit, come on, dude. But Gorosaurus, I just wanted to give him a shout out because Gorosaurus is awesome. If you want to count it, King Caesar. I like King Caesar. He's fucking cool. He's like a lion god thing. Then when you wake him up, an explosion happens. Like, who wouldn't love that? But he's also, I believe he's in Final Wars, which would make him an enemy of Godzilla. So, does that count? Because he's awesome. Is he? Let me make sure. Let me make sure he's actually in fucking Final Wars. Because that would suck if I was wrong. But it's very easy that I could be wrong. Yeah, he's in Final Wars. Yeah, he does like the big dropkick thing on Anguirus, I think. But hey, that could count. Another one, this is the last one, is Titanosaurus, who is like in Terror of Mechagodzilla, and like that's it. Like I don't think he's in like anything else. He's in Final Wars again as like he's stock footage, I think. So yeah, he's a one-off. He's this cool like sea dragon. But when he's on land, when he does his tail, which is like a fin tail, it creates like gusts of wind. And he also like picks up Godzilla by biting his mouth and lifting him up. And he fights alongside Mechagodzilla. So, yeah, Titanosaurus is cool, but like he's barely ever used. So, when another thing about Mechagodzilla, I just want to talk about this real quick. Terror of Mechagodzilla has one of the coolest things in any Godzilla movie, and it only applies if you saw the Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. But in the first movie, Godzilla is fighting Mechagodzilla, and he beats him by like twisting his neck around. But like he's a mech, so it's like who cares? Like, but anyway, it breaks him. He's like, oh, I'm broke. I'm done. So then Mechagodzilla comes back, and Terror of Mechagodzilla, he teams up with Titanosaurus. I think mostly by accident. But Godzilla, like, does the same thing. He's like, well, this worked the first time. He does it again, basically gives him a neck snap. But now there's a head under the head, and it can keep fighting. Like, fucking cinema. God damn. But let's see. Next up is One at Fault Media. Hey, Rickama13, congratulations on the milestone. Your videos are awesome, man. Don't stop putting shit out. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I haven't really thought of a proper question, but will you be doing more fighting game reviews in the near future? I wouldn't say no. I'm not a review guy. Like I've done almost exclusively like retrospective stuff, like other than like Let's Plays and stuff like that of various Street Fighter games, but I wouldn't say no. But there's none really on the cards right now. Let me put it that way. Obviously, like Garo, the new Garo game comes out this month, I think, and I'm looking forward to that. Not really looking forward to Cristiano Ronaldo being in it or Hatsune Miku, like whatever. But like, yeah, I'm not gonna say yeah, but I'm not gonna say no either. Sorry. Nero Vingian 40. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but the Daytona USA Origins video is what got me here. It's good. Again, thank you. I appreciate it. I guess my question would be the name of the channel. I'm also a big Gundam fan, so it was pretty funny seeing Char reviewing Daytona USA. LOL. The name of the channel, like, that's not really the name of the channel because this is my screen name on everything. Like, Redcomma13 is just what I've used for fucking decades at this point. Like, since I was in high school. And I'm almost 40. So, you know, YouTube, Discord, PSN, Xbox Live. If you see someone Redcomma13 or the Redcomma13, it's probably me. Excuse me. But it was just something like I did back in the day. It's a combination of three things if I really think about it. Back in the day, before I was like really into Gundam, really, I was watching like Toonami in the afternoons, just like most people did, and I was really into Zoid's New Century, which was on at that time. And one of the very first characters they introduced, who's not a bad guy, but like the good guys have to fight her, is a character named Naomi Flugel. And her name, or her nickname is the Red Comet, which is the first time I'd ever heard that. And I was like, oh, like, man, she's hot. That's a cool name. And then like there was that, and then I seem to remember back in the day people saying like her name in Japanese was not Red Comet, it was the Rouge Flash, and they changed it to Red Comet in the dub. But I did some research and I never found that, so I don't know. But there was that. Then I got into Gundam, and there's Char, and I'm like, he's the Red Comet, and he piloted this really cool Zaku too. It's supposed to be red, but it's mostly pink. Johnny Ridden's is cooler because it's more red. But yes, started getting into Gundam and was like, man, I like this character. He's fucking cool. He pilots cool mechs. Thumbs up. And then during this time too, I was going back and playing Final Fantasy VII, the original, obviously. And one of my favorite characters was Red 13. So basically, I took the name of Naomi Flugel, Char Aznable, and Red 13 and just mashed it together, and that's where it comes from. Most people, when they see the name Red Comet 13, they just assume it is from Final Fantasy VII, which is not untrue. But they skip the comet part. So, obviously, like, the big spell in FF7 was Meteor, not Comet. So, it would be Red Meteor 13 if it was going to be a full-on reference to FF7, but that's where the name comes from. Is a combination of two different anime characters and a video game character. Once again, speak of the devil, 616 Entertainment. Ian, how you doing, man? He gave me some good ones here. We're going to read all of them through first, and then we'll answer them. What's a brand you would love to see on a car that you haven't seen before, like the old NWO or WCW cars? What do you want to see out there? I clarified this with him. He's talking about race cars. I'm a huge racing fan. Between Daytona USA and the NASCAR Thunder videos, I'm pretty sure that's obvious. But anything with four wheels that goes in circles, basically, I watch it. NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, IMSA, WeatherTech sports cars, World Endurance Championship. If it has four wheels, I watch it. NHRA drag racing, even though, like, they ruined the races here in Charlotte by making them both four wide, so I have no reason to fucking go to them anymore, but that's beside the point. But it's kind of funny because most of my brand fandom comes from brands that are already on race cars. Like, my favorite shoe company is Puma, and they are the outfitters for Ferrari's F1 team. I don't know if they do their WEC team, but they definitely do their F1 team. They've been doing their F1 team for fucking decades. Like, they were there when Michael Schumacher was there. And he retired the first time 2007. I think that's right. I want to look that up real quick just to see if I am right on that. Schumacher. It'd be great if I could fucking type. You see how many times did you hear how many times it took me to type out the name Schumacher? 2006, I was fucking close. But I remember they were there back then. They also outfit most of the BMW factory teams, and they were the outfitter for the Mercedes AMG team in Formula One as well, but they actually switched over to Adidas, who also does Porsche's factory teams. But as far as like a brand I'd like to see on a car, I'm always a fan of anytime racing and nerddom, geekdom like intersect, and it's happened a lot. Like GameStop used to sponsor a car in the NASCAR at Busch Series or Nationwide Series at the time, and they were always promoting new games like Mortal Kombat 9 at the time, Mario Kart, Halo a bunch of times. So I always like when any kind of video game thing is like on a thing. Also, Good Smile Company, I don't think they technically own a team, but they are associated with the team. It's called Good Smile Racing, but they're actually ran by Black Falcon Racing, but they just go by Good Smile Racing because of the sponsorship. But Good Smile Company, they make pop-up parade figures, which I collect. I have a bunch of the Street Fighter ones. They also are like the owner of like the Hatsune Miku like property, and they also do the Figma series of action figures. There we go. I got that out. And sometimes, like when I create a car, like in Gran Turismo 7 or something like that, Good Smile Company is usually like one of the sponsors I like to use. They also make Nendoroids. If you're all familiar with that. And like they go like all out because their cars have just like anime babes on them and shit like that. And it's like that's fucking cool. But as far as like a brand that I would like to see on a car like right now, like I said, it's kind of hard for me to say because like most of like the brands that I like are because they're in racing. But to kind of like go back old school, again going back to like Gran Turismo 7, I've made some like, not that I'm a huge fan of it, but like Miller High Life beer cars, because like I think their branding looks really cool, and they had some badass cars back in the 80s. So I'd like to see them come back just because they could do a lot with their brand. But other than that, like those NWO and WCW cars back in the day they were cool. There was a lot of crossover with NASCAR and WCW specifically, because back then some NASCAR races were not held on, but were broadcast over TBS, which of course is where WCW Thunder aired, and where Clash of the Champions shows aired and stuff like that. And the Turner Network, Turner basically sponsored a Cup car back then, and it was used mostly to showcase Cartoon Network, but they would also promote WCW through it. Like there would be like there was a really badass like Goldberg car one time. And of course they had like the monster trucks too back then. But yeah, and I did that one WCW. I remember I showed Ian this, like I made a WCW car on Gran Turismo 7, and I was like kind of pleased with it. I thought it was pretty cool. It was inspired by the WCW car from like the Busch series back in like the 96 or 97. The tag team, the Pit Crew, which had the Demon Dale Torborg on it. They wore like the actual like fire suits that they would wear like over the wall. But yeah, I guess I do apologize because I don't really have that big of an answer for that one. I'm afraid, but I guess if I had to pick an answer, I'd say Miller High Life. I'm sure you have a short list of. I didn't even do what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to read all the questions at once. Whatever. I'm sure you have a short list of. This would be a good video. Care to share any ideas? There is one that I really want to do, but I'm not sure how to go about it. I just had to do like some research, and that is, I would like to do a video talking about how Kowloon Walled City had such a big impact on media, as in like how things are not like presented, but like design cues, design aspects. Because like you obviously have the movie Bloodsport, which was actually filmed on location inside Kowloon Walled City. And so like video games and anime have taken like so much inspiration like from the way that place looked. For those who may not know, Kowloon Walled City was basically a city-state within Hong Kong. And it was just like there was like no, it was like the Wild fucking West. Like there was like no laws. So like they just kept building upon building upon building upon building upon building. And so it just has this like crazy, it just looks nuts inside there. And all the signage and like the neon and shit like that. If you've seen, like, I feel like there's so many things where some examples of like things that use Kowloon Walled City, obviously Bloodsport because it was filmed there. But I'm rewatching Cowboy Bebop right now, and like it's like some of the places I go to looks like Kowloon Walled City. Ghost in the Shell, specifically like the original movie, huge influence. They like Kowloon Walled City also was like in the flight path of a airport, so you'd see like these low flying airplanes come over all the time, and even in Ghost in the Shell, there's a scene where there's a low flying airplane coming over it, and this looks like it's gonna fucking fall like onto the city. But I feel like there's a lot of movies, anime, video games where like you see that style, you see like that dense urban environment, and it looks so familiar. And I think a lot of people have seen it, but they don't know that it's based off of a real place. So that's one I'd like to do. It's just a matter of like buckling down and kind of doing research for it. And it's different from like, it's video game related. A video coming probably next month has nothing to do with video games, but it's something I want to do. So I'm fucking gonna do it. That's the thing with me, like with this channel, is that like it's always going to be whatever the fuck I want to do. Obviously, like you try to catch like lightning in a bottle. Like I re-edited the NASCAR Thunder video to be a 2-parter instead of like a 1 long parter, and I released that the week of the Daytona 500 because it's going to get more views. Same thing with the video next month. It's going to be released near an event in May. And if you use any kind of context clues, you'll figure out what the subject is. Then the specific thing, but you'll know the field. But because I don't ever plan to like quit my job and do this full time. Like it would be fucking cool, but like I don't see it ever really realistically happening. So if it's not going to happen, I'm just going to just do whatever the fuck I want. Let's see. So there's that one. What's a game everyone else likes that doesn't do it for you? The easy answer is basically any Souls-like game. I tried playing Bloodborne very recently, like a couple months ago, I think. Within 2025, let's put it that way. But I was told like this is basically like modern day Castlevania, and I was like, that sounds cool, but I can't get out of the first fucking area. Like I got so fucking mad, and I was like, there's no point in me playing this game any further because I'm just gonna get fucking mad. And like, I see like Elden Ring, and I see like, you know, Demon Souls and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, dude, I just don't. This ain't for me, man. Even like Star Wars Jedi, like Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, like those are Souls games. And I played the first one a little bit, and I was like, dude, nope, not for me. So if Star Wars can't get me into it, what fucking can? But the answer I want to give though is right here. Metaphor. Everyone and their brother sucks this game's dick, and I don't get why. And I say that as someone who I consider myself like enough of a Persona fan where like this should appeal to me because it's very much like Persona. But I don't like the game's visual style. I hate the environmental designs. Like I legitimately, they disgust me. Like the game is like, it has a very like depressing vibe about it, which is fine, but like everything is either shit brown or gray, and I'm like, fuck, I'd love to see something green right now. Like anything else. I think the character designs are fine and all that, but I got like 20 some hours in, and I was like, when's the game start to get good? Like, in that 20 some hours, I was like, dude, everything that's happened in this 20 some hours could have been done in like 8. And it makes me think that Atlas just likes to make their games needlessly long. And I hate it because like I was really looking forward to it. It was given to me as a birthday gift, so I want to like it, but like it's not even installed right now. I was like, I think also I had just come off of Persona 3 Reload. So I was going into like another 100 some hour RPG after I just got done with one. So like maybe I wasn't in the right mindset for it. But like I just don't get it. And like it was up for like every award possible last year. It was like best music, best design, best story, best. I'm like, brother, did you not play FF7 Rebirth? Like, because everything people said Metaphor did, that game did better. Fucking, I don't care. Like, that's my fucking opinion. Exact opposite. Which game do you love that the general population didn't like? Kind of looking at my shelf here, and there's nothing like really sticking out to me. I can't think of a game that like I outright. I got one. Civilization Revolution on the Xbox 360. This was my first Civilization game. It's baby's first Civilization. It's basically what it is. And I fucking love this game. I could play the shit out of it right now. And I just think it's a fucking ton of fun. And people who are like really into Civilization fucking hate that game. And they're like, it's baby's first Civilization. It's made for consoles. This piece of shit. I'm like, I think it's pretty fucking good. Like the thing I like about it is that you can complete an entire campaign in like 2 hours. Whereas like in a core Civilization game, to do the same thing takes like fucking 40. But now I try to play like Civ 6 and like I'm too dumb for the regular Civilization games, but I love that one. So yeah, that would be my answer for that one. What's the best controller of all time in your opinion, and why? There's a lot of good ones out there. The SNES controller is definitely up there. I remember like when I first played Super Nintendo back in the day, and like it felt so advanced to have that many buttons. To have 4 face buttons and the 2 shoulder buttons. It's like, holy shit, look at all these. What are we getting into? That one's up there. The Xbox 360 controller actually is up there for me as well. I remember the first time I played an Xbox 360 game, it was either BioShock or it was Condemned to Criminal Origins. It was one of those two. And I remember like I owned the original Xbox with the Duke controller and all that shit. And I eventually like, you know, I got rid of it and I was like, whatever, Xbox is fine. And the 360 came out and a friend of mine, Alex, got it like close-ish to launch. And I remember we were going to hang out one time and I got to his place and he was playing Mass Effect 1. And I'm like, what the fuck's that? And he's like, this is Mass Effect and this is Xbox 360. I didn't even know he had it. Like, I felt like it was like a secret when I got there. But, he was like, no. He did tell me because I remember him telling me about the fucking controller and being like, controller's fucking good, dude. I'm like, whatever. Like, but then I get it and like where they moved that stupid black and white button and made it the bumpers. It was like, holy shit, this is so much better. And then it could turn on and off. They could turn the console on and off. Like, that was crazy. Because, like, I remember the Dreamcast could turn the console on, but not off. I even remember, like, one of my cousins saying, like, if only they could make it turn it off, too. Like, but But yeah, I was like, whoa, which isn't. It's not that the controller can do it. It's that the system is programmed that way. But that one's up there. I'll give you another one actually right here. I used to use this controller all the time. This is. It's hard to believe that like this was a thing a while ago, but like the light is fucking up. Street Fighter 15th Anniversary Fight Pad for the PlayStation 2. Official product. Check that out. The lenticular card on it. It's not really... Either it's not moving or the camera is like... fucking up. Anyway, it's basically... it's a fucking Sega Saturn pad is what it is. It's exactly what it is. But for a while, like, this was the only controller I would use when playing fighting games on the old PlayStation. Like I said, I was waiting for the 15th anniversary, and like the 40th anniversary is about to happen. Holy shit! But if you put a gun to my head and was like, "You got to pick one right now," it would. It's a basic bitch answer, but. Because my hair's all over it. Come on. DualSense. Like, this controller is... It's awesome. But let me put a little bit of a caveat with it. It is awesome when it is used... or programmed for, whatever you want to say, correctly. So basically only like first-party PlayStation, Sony games really let it shine. But... I love the adaptive triggers. I think that's cool. But like when I first got a PS5, I got because I had bought GT7 on a lot of Gran Turismo references going on in this this video. But I was able to upgrade to the PS5 version, and the first time I played with that. Usually I'm playing with the wheel. But I was like, let me use that real quick, just to kind of check out the game. And it's great, like, because like when you're playing with that controller, you can feel every bump in the road, on the track, the rumble strips, everything, because of like the way it vibrates. But also, the L2 is like the brake. If you hit the brake and the ABS on a car kicks in, it pulsates just like a fucking brake pedal would. I'm like my pedal set can't do that. You know what I mean? But that can. But this is a PS4 wheel, so it wasn't really a thing yet. And also, like, when you are shifting in a car, like it simulates shift shock. Like, the controller vibrates when you shift, and it's so cool because like it's not the same on every car, just like it's not the same on every car in real life. But that demonstration alone like kind of puts that one over the top. So I'll go with the DualSense. What's the best controller? If you weren't a mechanic, what would you like to be doing? It's hard to say, really. For those who may not know, I'm a mechanic by trade, car mechanic. I've thought about getting out of the game a couple times in the past few years, but I'm kind of like, what would I do? Like, I have a business degree, but I've never used it. I quit an office job to just go work on cars with like no fucking experience. Like, a friend of mine got a job at a fucking Walmart lube center and was like, hey, like, come do this job with me. And I was like, dude, I was like, I like cars, but like, I don't work on them. And he's like, just bullshit it, dude. And that's what I did. I bullshitted through the fucking interview, got the job, and was like, doing, dude? Like, all it was oil and tires because it's fucking Walmart. But then after a while, I moved on to a big chain place. Started to learn more stuff, you know, mostly learning how to do like brakes, alignment, stuff like that. I eventually became like, I went from like being just like a technician to like alignment tech was like my official title. But now I work at an independent shop, mom and pop shop, that's owned by an ex race car driver. He raced in pro modified drag racing is what he did. At one point, he owned the fastest 1955 Chevrolet on the planet. But it's so hard to say what I would be doing because like I never really want to go back to like an office job, which is crazy because like for a long time, all I wanted was an office job. I was like, I just want to work in an office, in an air conditioned office, and you know, sit at a desk all day and blah blah blah. Now I like couldn't stand to do that. I can do it when I'm like editing a video or something. Like the hours will fly by. Like if that was like my job was to like just edit video, the time would go by so fucking fast. Like because it does. I'll be looking at the clock. I'm like, it's been like 3 hours, but I don't have the education for that. Obviously, I didn't go to film school or any shit like that. But it's so hard to say, and like it's so crazy because when I was a kid, the first dream job I had when I was a kid was to play baseball. I wanted to be a third baseman for Cincinnati Reds, and obviously that didn't fucking work out. Cause I was a good fielder. That's why I played third base, because I could field, but I couldn't hit shit for dick, so that didn't turn out too good. And then also, at one point, I wanted to be like a stand-up comedian, which wouldn't have been good because I'm not funny. And then for a long time, I wanted to be a race car driver. And that's still something like one day before I die, I want to like sit behind the wheel of a race car and at least like take a couple laps. You know, like I've ridden in a 2-seater car, like Richard Petty driving experience at Charlotte. I did that once, 3 laps around. You're sitting in the passenger seat. They get you right up next to the wall. Looks like you're gonna fucking die. It's awesome. And I could do that, just like do like the Richard Petty driving experience and drive the car. But that's what I would like to do. And even then, like I did work for a team for a little while. I worked for Roush Racing, which at the time Roush Racing was like fucking huge. Like they had just won back-to-back NASCAR Cup Series championships. They won the last Winston Cup and they won the first Nextel Cup. But I was working there, but I was not getting paid because like I was still in high school. I was volunteering basically. The guy lined up a job for me. The guy that was like my contact or whatever, like he lined up a job for me, but I couldn't take it because I was still in high school. And I thought about dropping out of school to take that job. And he was like, no, like I'm finished school. And I was like, okay. But then he ended up getting moved to like a different shop. And then I didn't know anyone else there good enough, like well enough to basically get a job there. And it just kind of fell through. And that was it. I was like the closest I ever got to working in racing. But now, like, it's just so crazy because things are so specialized now or even like the pit crew, like the overall wall crews and like NASCAR, it used to just be guys like me, like just mechanics who like would go on the weekend and, you know, chill out or something, but not chill out, but like that was what they would do on the weekends. But now, like, they're all, like, every pit crew member in the Cup Series now are, like, former football players. Like, there's guys on pit crews now that have won the Super Bowl, have won NCAA national championships, and they're like physical specimens. It's like you can't compete. I can't compete with that. Like, you know, I'm fucking almost 40 years old. Like, I can't do what they do now. But why the fuck is my Discord blowing up? But yeah, like I would like to think in an alternate timeline, like I did get that job and I worked in racing ever since. But it's crazy to think about because like that team now is a shell of its former self because like they had 5 cars back then and now they have 2. It's like, would I have been one of the people that like, you know, lost their job like when they downsized and shit? But you never know. But Ian, thank you for the questions. And these are our last 2. They come from Doc Friday 97. You can capture. You don't want to capture him. Don't do that. But he's on YouTube as well. Excuse me. YouTube.com/Doc Friday 97. He's got 2 questions. What is your most underrated game? And what is your favorite rap album, if you have one? I'll answer the rap one first because I'm not really rap hip hop kind of guy. My delicious watered down Baja Blast. But if you look at my rap playlist on Apple Music, here we go. You'll see it's mostly like a bunch of one-ofs. Like here's like 1 Jay-Z song, here's 2 Ice Cube songs, here's 2 Biggie songs, you know, stuff like that. But if I had to pick one, it would be what is it? As I bomb right here in front of the camera. It would be, I want to make sure I knew it. I knew the title. I just couldn't remember if I got it right. That would be Hill the Sequel, which was by Royce da 5'9" and Eminem, also known as Bad Meets Evil. But that is probably the only rap album I have ever listened to as I try to fall out of my chair. That's the only rap album I've ever like really listened to like front to back. A friend of mine, same friend earlier, Alex, he recommended it to me, let me rip it. He let me borrow it so I could rip it. And it came at like a weird time where like I was not happy with my job. I was like mad a lot. And they talk about being mad a lot on that album. And but part of it is like, you know, rising up and like getting over that shit. And it really resonated with me. I'm not a fan of like every album on the track or every track on the album, but it is, I would go with that. That would be my favorite rap album if I had one. The only one that even like would really come close would be like the Marshall Mathers LP, because it has Stan, it has Way I Am, it has Real Slim Shady on it. That would be like number 2, I guess. Run the Jewels 2 by Run the Jewels. If it counts, the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike album. That soundtrack is awesome. And it has 2 legitimate, like, banger hip-hop songs. Maybe that's, if that counts, I guess I'll say Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. If it does not count, I'll go with Hell's Sequel. And then, what is your most underrated game? I kind of have a couple answers for this. One is not going to be the final answer. One will be. I'll explain in a second. But over here, is it stuck to another game? The first answer, which is not the final answer, is Valkyria Chronicles. This originally came out on PS3, got remastered, re-released on PS4. This is the awesome, you know, it's got a dent in it. This is the awesome Steelbook case. But this game came out on PS3. It's a strategy RPG that got like good reviews, and like it became like a franchise there for a second, but like I think was like horribly mismanaged because this game came out in 2008, and then Valkyria Chronicles 2 came out in 2010, but it was a PSP game because this was like when Sega was like in dire fucking straits. Like they had, I think by that time they had sold the publishing rights to Bayonetta 2 to Nintendo because they just had no money. And Platinum had already finished Anarchy Reigns. It was just sitting like on a hard drive somewhere because Sega literally didn't have the money to print the discs. So they ended up doing Valkyria Chronicles 2 on PSP in order to mostly to appease to the Japanese fan base who at that time had migrated like to handheld, like not only to handhelds, but handhelds were like super prevalent, and they had the second game on that system. And then Valkyria Chronicles 3 came out on PSP as well and never fucking left Japan. So us American fans kind of like we're like, what the fuck happened? There's also like a browser-based game. Can't play that anymore because the website's gone. But then Valkyria Chronicles 4 came out, which I have that as well. Which I can't believe this game's like fucking like 8 years old now. That's crazy. I got the special edition. The tank's over there. But I feel like it was, like I said, it was a franchise there for a second. There was an anime adaptation, which I tried and wasn't really a big fan of. And there was a manga, but this game, when I first played it on PS3, it was on my roommate at the time's PS3 that I was playing it on, and I was lent the game by Alex. We spent a lot of time together back in the day. I guess he would be like my bathroom money. He would be to me what bathroom money to viewers is to Ian. But this game is so fucking good, and I just feel like it was well regarded at the time, but like it just sort of like floated off like into the ether, and like people kind of forgot about it. I don't know how well 4 sold. But yeah, and like it has a weird ass fucking twist near the, I'm trying to like do it so like the light's not reflecting too much off of it. But it has like a weird twist ending. Like not twist ending, but like there's a twist near the end, let's put it that way. And it's like, what the fuck? That came out of fucking nowhere. But after that it gets good again. And like the actual like the ending legitimately like made me tear up like the first time I saw it. And there's some other great moments all throughout the game. It's fucking awesome. Definitely it's on PS4, so you can play it on PS4 or PS5. I'm sure it's on, I don't know if it's on anything out other than PlayStation, because it's a PS3 exclusive, and it was like a PS3 exclusive when like people still like weren't buying the PS3. So there's that. But as far as like actual most underrated game, we have an example over here. Eternal Sonata on the Xbox 360. This is Frederick Chopin the game. If you can, there he is. There's Chopin back there in the back, playing his piano. But this is a weird fucking game. It's a turn-based, but also live, or not live action, a turn-based / real-time RPG. And it is fucking hard locked to this generation. It came out on 360 originally. It was later ported to the PS3 and got some enhanced features that I've never fucking played that version of the game because I've never owned a PS3 and I've never been able to play PS3 games. But this, there we go. This game's fucking awesome. I have not played it in a long time. It's something I keep meaning to like kind of play it now. But this game was actually, it was developed by Tri-Ace, is who developed it with, or not Tri-Crescendo. Tri-Ace is a different company. Tri-Crescendo and Tri-Ace used to work together. But Tri-Crescendo used to only do sound development. They did the sound for fucking redneck Valkyrie Profile and like a couple of Star Ocean games, and then they co-developed Baten Kaitos on the GameCube, which was like their first like actual game. They co-developed that with Monolith Soft, but they also did that. They did the sound for like Radiated Stories on PS2, and then they developed this game on the 360. They're mostly known today for co-developing with other like bigger companies, like some games that you wouldn't fucking think of. They co-developed Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS. They co-developed Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, like, because I remember like seeing like their logo like in the credits, like when you're doing like the like shoot 'em up thing, like their logo like appears in the fucking credits. And I was like, what the fuck's Tri-Crescendo doing here? But they could develop that. They also have done like the Idolmaster. They've done that. They worked on the Tales games for a little bit, like they did Tales of Berseria and Tales of Zestiria. And they also helped co-develop Gran Turismo 7. Like, what? The same company that made this game helped make Gran Turismo 7. That's fucking crazy. The video is now reaching the hour and 20-minute mark. I was gonna play some video games with you guys, but like, it's a long. I meant to go like maybe an hour, but that's why I want to do like this the Q&A, because I could talk for fucking hours because I'm a fucking nerd. But I think I'll end it there. I don't think we need to play any games tonight. we'll do that some other time. But anyway, once again, thank all y'all for subscribing, for watching the videos, liking, sharing. You know, that's how a channel grows, is by people watching it and interacting with it, by commenting on it, liking it, showing their friends, you know. So thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. I'm RedComma13, and I'll see you next time.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.